Emma, a kind-hearted waitress, thought it was just another busy morning at the cafe. Then she noticed an elderly man fumbling nervously with his wallet, embarrassment written all over his face. Without a second thought, she stepped forward and paid for his coffee. It seemed like a small, ordinary gesture, but little did she know. That single act of kindness would shock her, change her life forever, and reveal a secret about the stranger that nobody could have imagined. In that moment, the world shifted in ways she never saw coming. Emma wiped down the counter, her thoughts scattered between the long list of orders and the cold November wind outside. The cafe buzzed with its usual morning crowd, the scent of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. Then she noticed him. A frail-looking man in his late 70s, dressed in a worn-out coat, staring at the menu with a mixture of confusion and hesitation. Something about his gentle eyes tugged at her heart. He shuffled toward the counter, patting his pockets as if hoping for a miracle. Emma stepped closer. "Can I help you, sir?" she asked softly. He looked up, startled, and muttered, I think I forgot my wallet." His voice quivered slightly, revealing his embarrassment. Emma's heart softened immediately. Without a second thought, she smiled brightly and said, "Don't worry about it. Your coffee's on me." He blinked, utterly surprised. "Are you sure?" he asked, his voice filled with disbelief. Emma nodded, a warm energy radiating from her gesture. "Absolutely," she replied, handing him the steaming cup with a gentle smile. The man's eyes glistened, a mix of relief and gratitude. At that moment, Emma had no idea that this small act of kindness would trigger a chain of events so remarkable that it would redefine her understanding of fate, generosity, and life-changing encounters. Even as she returned to her tasks, a faint feeling of anticipation lingered in the air, like the calm before an unexpected storm. The elderly man settled at a corner table, sipping his coffee with a contemplative expression. Emma continued her work, taking orders, refilling cups, and managing the growing crowd. But she couldn't shake the feeling that there was something extraordinary about this encounter. Something about the man's calm dignity despite his apparent struggle intrigued her. After a while, the man called her over gently. "Young lady, your kindness. It's rare these days," he said, his voice warm but quiet. Emma smiled, brushing it off lightly. "It's nothing, sir. Just thought you deserved a cup to start your day." But there was sincerity in her gesture that the man clearly recognized. He studied her carefully, as if assessing the depth behind her smile. "You have a heart most people overlook," he said. Emma felt a flicker of curiosity mixed with a tinge of surprise. She had always prided herself on her compassion, but never had anyone expressed it so pointedly, especially a stranger. Minutes passed, and a conversation unfolded naturally. Small talk about the weather, his love for coffee, and life's little challenges. Emma learned that he was traveling through town, staying discreetly at a nearby hotel. There was a subtle gravitas in his tone, a quiet confidence masked by humility. Something in her intuition whispered that this man was no ordinary stranger. The air between them buzzed with a quiet expectation, as if the universe had orchestrated this moment for a reason she could not yet comprehend. As Emma continued her shift, the cafe door opened, and the elderly man slowly stood up, leaving a generous tip on the table. He paused, turning back toward her. "Emma," he said, his voice calm but carrying a weight of importance. She blinked. He knew her name. "Yes, sir?" she replied cautiously. He smiled faintly, revealing a surprising warmth. "I have to tell you something," he began. Emma leaned closer, curiosity pulling her in. "The coffee you paid for. It wasn't just a gesture, it was a test, though I never intended it that way." Emma frowned, unsure of what he meant. The man reached into his coat pocket, pulling out a sleek, gold-embossed business card. Her eyes widened as she read the name. Harrison Whitmore, billionaire entrepreneur philanthropist. Emma froze. Her mind raced. The man she had assumed was a struggling traveler, a lonely visitor in need of kindness, was a billionaire. A man with influence, wealth, and an empire she had seen only in magazines. "I've been looking for someone genuine," he continued, his tone soft but firm. "Someone whose kindness is authentic, who values humanity over appearances. What you did today, it spoke louder than any introduction or resume could." Emma felt her heart skip. This was beyond anything she had ever imagined. A simple cup of coffee, a fleeting act of generosity. And now, the very man she had helped was revealing a world she had never expected to enter. The twist was both shocking and exhilarating, leaving her completely speechless. Emma's hands trembled slightly as she accepted the card. Harrison's eyes studied her reaction, a gentle patience in his gaze. "I know this might be sudden, and I don't expect anything immediately," he said. "But I wanted you to know that the world notices kindness even in the smallest acts." For a moment, the cafe noise seemed to fade, leaving only the hum of possibility between them. Emma's mind raced with disbelief, excitement, and an overwhelming sense of surrealism. A simple gesture, paying for a coffee, had unexpectedly bridged the ordinary with the extraordinary. Over the following weeks, Emma and Harrison maintained contact. They met in quiet cafes, talked for hours, and discovered shared values, dreams, and ambitions. Harrison admired her humility and empathy. Emma found inspiration and support in his encouragement. What began as a small act of kindness blossomed into a profound connection, one that redefined both their lives. Emma reflected on the incident often. She realized that generosity does not require wealth or recognition. It requires a willingness to act, even when no one is watching. Sometimes the universe rewards authenticity in ways that are unimaginable. And as she smiled, sipping her own coffee one morning, she knew that a single selfless act had opened a door to opportunity, friendship, and perhaps something even greater. A life forever changed. Subscribe channel for more videos.